Live outside the DW Stadium, looking ahead to tonight's game against Wigan Athletic in the FA Cup. Third round, Manchester United. Here we go. Ten Hag's rallying cry. We can go for the double. Are you shitting me, Ten Hag, a little bit? I mean, come on, honestly. No, we're not. I think, looking at this, it's a perfect opportunity for United. We'll talk about the FA Cup. We'll get about all the transfer news and all the updates from United. Sir David Brailsford's plan. The Athletic, again, have been deep on that. They've done loads of work on that, as you've seen on previous videos that I've done. But also transfer news and transfer updates. McTominay for Amadou Onana. Can we have two Onanas in the same team? Is that allowed? I think that would be a bit confusing. But yeah, them news are coming out this morning. I think the MEN have been on that and a couple of other. I want to know what you guys think. Do you feel like Onana is the type of midfielder United should be going for? Does he fit the profile? If it's a swap for McTominay, that's a bit strange for me, and I don't know about that one. But guys, let me know what you think. I've just look at this game and what Ten Hag was saying, because the embargoed section of that press conference that was Thursday has come out now. So we're now getting all of the quotes, the interesting quotes about the game. I questioned why no one was actually asking about the Wigan game, but it was quite clear on Thursday that everything was asked around Ineos, the meetings, like it probably should have. The game was 4 days away from that press conference, and the embargoed version has just come through today. So Ten Hag has been talking regarding the FA Cup and what lies ahead here for Manchester United. In that same press conference, though, he has actually said that Manchester United are competing for two trophies. Two trophies. The Premier League and the FA Cup. I mean, you cannot be serious, Eric, when you say the Premier League. I sort of looked at it and I went, is there any mix-up in translation? Is there a loss of translation there in what he was saying? Well, he says, no, we're now competing for the Premier League and the FA Cup. That's all we've got. I've just got your messages coming up on here as well, guys. So do get involved in the chat. I can see what you're all saying. It is bloody cold here, if you didn't notice. A bit red-cheeked today. I've got the gloves on. I've got the Marshalls on. So, yeah, get your comments in. Let me know how you feel about the game tonight. How important is this now for Manchester United? I asked the question, should United go all in for the FA Cup last night? And most people were thinking, well, no, top four is more important for United. I think that was the general consensus from the chat last night. But I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for Ten Hag. If you get a trophy in, then you're pretty much set, aren't you? You're pretty much nailed on, I feel, for looking ahead. Ineos behind you in the summer, and I would say you were confident. Top four is a guarantee, but I can't see us getting there. I really can't. I said look at all the games that we've got in the Premier League. The FA Cup, yeah, you've got Manchester City, you've got Liverpool in the way. I'd rather have a one-off game and throw everything at it and try and beat them than try and compete with them in the league and try and get up there. I just don't. There's too many hurdles in the way for United. I looked at all the games and I thought, the FA Cup has to be a priority. It really does. I mean, it has got a history. It's the oldest competition in football. It's just lost its value. That's all this has lost, the FA Cup. Everyone wants to be in it. Everyone's complaining about replays and everything like that. It's been changed, chopped around. We've now got actually the first legs of games, i.e. the first game when it comes out the draw, not just the replay. It's actually being played in the midweek. So I look at it and I go, it has sort of diminished. It isn't as important, but for Manchester United, it's a direct road into the Europa League. Right now, when the teams are ahead of us in that league, I look at it and I go, conference league at best for United right now, unless we really hit our straps and start playing well. But it's always good to win an FA Cup, isn't it? It's always good to have a bit of a cup run. This is our first game in nearly 3 years away from home in the cup, by the way, domestic cup game. The last game that Manchester United played away from home in the cup was Derby County, and Wayne Rooney was playing. That's how long ago it's been since the United fans, which, as you can see in that stand right behind me there, will fill. All of that stand across from the cameras tonight will be filled with Manchester United fans. 6,500, 7,000 pretty much. I'm sure some of the home end will be full as well with United fans. But yeah, you got to look at this now as an opportunity for United. I feel Ten Hag is going to play a strong team. We talked about that last night. Harry Maguire has been in the news this morning talking about how important it is, how we had a good run last season, it's a lucky run, I think, in my opinion. I feel like getting all of them home draws helped United get to where we did. 2 cup finals last season because of it. The only away game we had was the double header against Nottingham Forest, which is a 2-leg affair, and you can't even count that in terms of draws. But yeah, I just look at this and go, Wigan, no disrespect, not a great side. Manchester United need to be taking advantage of this. You need to be going out here tonight, putting this game to bed, and moving on. The draw is tonight as well, so we will cover that on the channel as well as we're doing the reaction show and everything like that. Jay will be with me tonight. Hopefully you guys can join me for the watch along as well. And yeah, Manchester United, I feel, cannot fail tonight. And I've said it all along. I don't think he'll be sacked, Erik Ten Hag, but if he does lose this game tonight, he deserves to be sacked. There's no excuse. I've said that. I've been talking about that in the build-up to this weekend all week, and I'll stick to my guns on it. I really do think he deserves to be sacked if you lose this game. No Manchester United manager can lose to a League One side in an FA Cup. I know there's been some massive upsets, but with United the way they are right now, and what's expected from the fan base and the reaction that we're expecting from poor performances this season, I don't think there's any excuse whatsoever. Just going to go through some of your messages. What's up, Adam? Frosty January morning. Yes, says the Muppet Show. Definitely. The double equals win 2 games on the trot, says go Humberto. I know, guy. That quote from Ten Hag in the press conference, I'm still looking at it and I'm like, no, there's a mix-up. But it's got quote-unquote on it. And he did actually say it. We're competing in the Premier League. Whether or not he means we're competing to get up to 4th, I don't know. But he actually says that we're going for 2 trophies. The Premier League and the FA Cup. The double for Manchester United. That would be a miraculous turnaround within a season, wouldn't it? But no, honestly, I do think that, and I can see all of your comments now coming in. Adam's wearing 2 gloves, illegal, says Dobby is free. Let me just see. Eric been smoking Amsterdam homegrown, says that. True, yeah. There must be some mix-up within that remark from Ten Hag. I don't think Manchester United are in for the league. Even he isn't stupid enough to think that United can compete for the Premier League. I think it's a tall ask to actually get back into the top 4. Like I said, with everyone above us and the way that all the other teams are playing. But FA Cup, I feel we just got to go for it. We really do. The United fans will be here in the thousands, like I said tonight, and there'll be an expectation that we are going to put on a decent performance. We have to. Ten Hag needs it. These players need it. And you know what? There's a few players going out on that pitch tonight that need to take note from a few other Premier League teams so far taking this competition seriously. Not one game is as simple, just turn up and play and you're going to win. This is how United's attitude has been this season for me. I feel like we've had it after every game that we've won. So straight off the back of a bad performance against Nottingham Forest, I expect a proper performance and everyone to turn up and be fighting here tonight. It's not ideal. League One, January, -2 or 3, whatever it's going to be tonight. You're looking at players' attitudes more than anything. You're looking at, are you going to stand up and be counted? The fan base is already at its wit's end with how this team has played this season. Just take a little bit of the edge off. Go out tonight, give it everything, and then we can get back to the Premier League next weekend against Spurs. But I do really fear for Ten Hag if something goes wrong tonight. And I'll say it again, I don't think it's going to happen. I feel Manchester United are going to win this game. We're going to win this game 3-0. That's my prediction. I'm quite confident that that's where we'll be in that draw after this game is finished. United looking ahead. Hopefully it's not a bad draw for us and we can actually have a decent cup run, because I think it will galvanise the team and I think it will actually give us a little bit of confidence going into the back end of the season. An FA Cup run always, it just gives you that chance to forget about the league and just, it's not like a fresh start, but you know what I mean? Every time you go into an FA Cup game, it just has a different build-up, different atmosphere to it, and you can approach it differently. I mean, there's been many seasons that have been salvaged by cup runs. Louis van Gaal had it. You go back to Sir Alex Ferguson, this was it. Manchester United had their worst December on record under Sir Alex Ferguson back in '89 into 1990. First game, FA Cup away at the City Ground against Nottingham Forest, and that famous Mark Robins goal completely changed the fortunes of Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United, and we literally did not look back from that moment. And I can probably feel the comments coming in. Nostalgia road, yet again, Adam. You're going living in the past. I know, but I'm just trying to big up how important the FA Cup can be for momentum. Sam Allardyce was another one who said, look, I'm going to play my strongest team when even in a relegation fight in the Premier League, just to boost morale and get a win on the board, get a little bit of momentum. It's not, I don't think now you can look at the FA Cup and play a weakened side. It's too important. Winning mentality is everything, and I feel like Manchester United will go very, very strong. The team, like I said last night, I feel that's what we'll play. I think it will be the back four of Dello, Wan-Bissaka, Varane and Evans. I feel like we'll have a midfield of Bruno, Eriksen and McTominay, Højlund in the middle, Garnacho on the left and Rashford on the right-hand side. I think he'll go his strongest, most experienced side, and that is no room for Anthony. Yes, I mean, Anthony right now, again, you could say Anthony, you could say any player in that team right now. I think we'll be looking at this and going, let me play, boss. Let me get into this game. They'll be thinking there's an opportunity here where I can actually gather a little bit of confidence. If I'm Marcus Rashford going into this game tonight, I'm looking at it going, I'm getting a few. I'm bagging a brace here. I'm going for an hat-trick. That's how I'd be looking at this game. Every single United player should be looking at themselves in the mirror, going into this and going, I ain't being embarrassed in this game. I'm going to go out and give it absolutely everything. I cannot believe that United players wouldn't do that in the first place. And we're in this situation clinging on to getting a result against Wigan. This should be just another game for Manchester United, but the fact that we're talking about it being so huge tells you exactly where this team is at and how bad we are right now. It's huge, and I do believe that United will win it, like I said, and we can move forward. I'm talking this down like I just want to be building up to the Spurs game. I honestly do not want to be talking about Ten Hag's job. I don't want to be with you guys in the reaction show later talking about where Ten Hag and where this team goes from here. I'm trying to pass it off this game like we are just going to win it. That's where I'm at. I feel like I'm doing it deliberately because I don't want to be talking on the negative tone again after another game. It's doing my head in. It's so depressing being a United fan. The amount of times I've followed, how many seasons I've followed this team around the country and around Europe, talking like we just haven't got a clue. I don't know where we go. It's got to stop. And hopefully now, and I'm clinging on to the Ineos takeover, 25%, and everything that they're going to do as the next stage. And I hope it is, I really do. Everything else in the news today, there is a poll going up right now in the chat as well, guys. Can Manchester United win a trophy this season? The options for you are, we're winning the double, we're winning the league, we're winning the FA Cup, we're winning nothing. I'm just going to put my vote on there right now and get into other news that is Manchester United today. McTominay swap deal for Amadou Onana. Where the hell did that come from? Well, it's the January transfer window, and all the news is just going to sprout out of absolutely nowhere. We've been talking about this. I wouldn't be swapping McTominay for Onana. And people will say, Adam, all you do is slag Scott McTominay off all the time. No, I know he isn't good enough, but I want the squad players like McTominay in this team. In this squad, sorry. Not in the team, God. Don't slaughter me, please. Please don't. But Scott McTominay, for me, I don't think we should be using him for a swap for someone like Onana. I think Manchester United need to be looking in a different direction, personally. I feel like Scott McTominay is good to have in the squad. Manchester United shouldn't be using him as a starter and relying on him to actually win us games or take us forward. I've said that all along, but you do need that United core and character within this squad. And is Onana an upgrade on McTominay? I would say yes he is. I wouldn't disagree with that if you said this is a good move, but it just smacks you in the face as a bit of desperation again. We're losing one midfielder for another. Onana's been out injured quite a bit as well. I do like him. I think he's strong. I think he's direct. I think he's the type of player that we actually need in this team. Someone who isn't going to be deterred by a better team in front of him, like I think McTominay is a lot of the time. But again, it's January and you're going to get all of these rumours coming around. I mean, guys, you let me know in the chat. Is Onana actually a player that you would take at Manchester United? Let me just get into the chat right now. I'm just going to scroll down. Bear with me a second. It's difficult with the gloves on. Sorry, guys. Live on location. Let me see. Adam, I can see us maybe scraping Champions League qualification if Casemiro and Martinez return soon and stay fit for the rest of the season, says Dobe. Adam sets these guys straight in the chat about why you're building your channel. I can't right now, Mike. I can't concentrate on too many things, but if the mods are doing their jobs, then they will be looking after that. Everyone say hello to Kaz. She's behind the camera. She can't answer any of your questions today or help out with the chat, so just say hello to Kaz as well. Let me just see. Compost Smurf says, we need better upgrades in my opinion. Man City winning the treble again, says Ashid. We're just creeping up to 500 watching. Thanks very much for tuning in, guys. It is a Monday morning. I know it's difficult with everyone in work, but this is the build up to Wigan. We got this dodgy draw of the Monday night game. We've waited ages for a game. It seems like a lifetime, to be honest, after that Nottingham Forest game. And the worst thing in football as a fan is having to wait ages for the next game, especially after you've lost one. I think that's what we've been dealing with, and it's just been doom and gloom. So excuse me, if Manchester United can get the victory tonight, then it just sets the tone a little bit different going into this week ahead, and that's what we want. So everyone should want, because like I said, there are actually fans out there who actually want a bad result for Manchester United, just so we get that reaction from the board or the club and Erik Ten Hag goes. I said it all along. I think Ten Hag deserves to be sacked if he loses this game. Do I want him out of the door personally myself? I would say no, because there's no one else to come in and change anything this season. United need to somehow just work with what we've got and make this season happen. Get through this season. Win the bleeding FA Cup. That's what you should be looking at. It's guaranteed football in Europe next season at least. That's why I keep saying it. This is important right now. If you get a lucky run, you just don't know. Liverpool could get drawn against Manchester City and one of the big guns could go out. Hopefully it's bleeding City, because I fancy our chances against Liverpool more than City right now. But you just don't know. All you've got to do is keep winning your games, stay in the competition, take it as seriously as you can. And you just don't know what will happen going through to that final. It happened to us last year. We got a bit lucky. Maybe again this year. And if we do get that trophy, what a way to head into next season. Sort of veered off there from the McTominay conversation regarding transfers. Sorry. I just feel while I'm here, I'm building up. I feel like I'm actually going into the stadium and getting ready for the game. But yeah, I'm going to be back to McTominay. Get back to McTominay. I'll get into some more questions, actually. If you have got any questions, guys, get them in the chat now. Gehan says, I think people want to know how come Adam has his own channel. I'm going to address all of this in a community post later on, guys. There's too many questions going on right now. I don't know who's said something or if something's happened somewhere else in the social media world, but there is a lot of people asking questions right now. I'll address it in a community post later on, so just stay tuned to that, everyone. You should know, if I'm not on that other channel and I'm here on my own, yeah, I have moved on. But I'll break it all down for you anyway. But also, guys, I want to get some score predictions in the chat as well, please, so get into that. In other news, rounding things up with Sancho, I don't think we need to know anymore. Fabrizio Romano said his piece this morning on Jadon Sancho. Next couple of days, should be done this week. It was a bit of a jump in the gun series, wasn't it, when someone said the deal is done. Was it last Thursday? Yeah. No, it's not. And one thing everyone should know about Manchester United, and one thing everyone should know about Jadon Sancho, or anything in terms of what's involved with the two, is nothing happens quickly. It's like the saga, isn't it, all over. Who was it who said to me yesterday? I can't remember who said it was the trilogy yesterday of Jadon Sancho. I think it actually might have been Ben. He said to me on, I think, Top of the League, and he went, it's the Jadon Sancho trilogy, isn't it? The first trilogy was how long it took us to actually get the signing done and how long that took. Then you had the saga of Ten Hag and the isolation gate, which was obviously this season. And now the trilogy, and rounding it off with the third episode, is actually managing to get him out of the bleeding club. That is just how United work. And unfortunately, until the United are in, we're going to have to deal with this for one more window, sadly. But yeah, the update is exactly the same. Still, it is going to be happening. Jadon Sancho will be moving to Dortmund. It's just took a little bit longer than expected. A few more issues that have to be sorted out and finalised and Jadon Sancho will be off on his bike. I did talk about Ahmad yesterday regarding a loan move to the Championship. Interesting that Mowbray's gone in at Birmingham now. Obviously Wayne Rooney was sacked. I hope he stays, but I can see plenty of Championship clubs looking at him. All the ones at the top, I would say Ipswich, good fit for McKenna. You never know if Mowbray tries to rekindle that relationship again with him, take him to Birmingham. If we get rid of Palestra, we get rid of Amad Diallo, then I think Ten Hag is shooting himself in the foot big time. I do think that he will struggle to get a team together if we get any more injuries and compete for the FA Cup. Like I said, we have to. We need to be winning the FA Cup. Everyone will look at us and the way we're playing, and I agree, confidence levels will be low. We can't do that, but Amad Diallo, I feel, needs to be in this team. Definitely needs to be in this team for the rest of the season, especially if Palestra is going to be going out on loan to Villarreal or Flamengo, wherever it's been reported. So yeah, I just think, I just don't understand that. I really don't understand why you would want to get rid of Amad Diallo. But yeah, there's not much of other news in terms of players. You don't get much on a match day, to be honest. But the other news, and again from The Athletic, great writing again from them. Laurie Whitwell was talking about David Brailsford, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit today as well, about the plan and everything going forward, and how since Ed Woodward left Manchester United, the powers that be, everyone above in the club has been tapping into David Gill a lot more. He's become a lot closer to Manchester United again now that Ed Woodward has left, and you know what, there's no problem with that. I don't think that is a bad thing. Anyone tapping into David Gill or Sir Alex Ferguson for advice, as long as it is just advice. Remember when I was talking about Richard Arnold and how he approached Sir Alex Ferguson and David Gill and asked them who United should have as a director of football? Sir Alex Ferguson's recommendation, Dan Ashworth. Dan Ashworth was in talks with United at that stage, but then found out that he was going to be working under John Murtough and not above him. And he said, no, forget it, no chance. Manchester United need to get a pecking order again. And so David Brailsford's plan and his idea and how he sees Manchester United, the first thing he came out with was the need for a director of football, the need for recruitment to be improved at Manchester United. This was massive for him, and I think his whole look on football, and people have always said to me, he knows nothing about football, Adam, you're clutching at straws, he's not going to change anything at all. Well, he's already come out and said, look, he needs to get the right people in position. He needs to find the right men to actually do the jobs and women at Manchester United. He isn't going to be the man in charge of that side of things. He isn't going to be the one making all of the footballing decisions regarding who comes in, who's being recruited, what type of player. He's going to put people in position that he's going to do that for him. So that there is important for Sir David Brailsford. And I think when you look at all of the writing and everything regarding Brailsford, it is of learning from what he has done before. And the setup at Nice is a perfect example. And this was the most interesting bit out of the article for me, was how Nice are working right now. So I think they've worked out, they've sacked around about 5 managers already. They've gone in a bit gun-ho. It's not quite worked straight out the bag, but they have now got a system in place where the manager reports to the sporting director. There is a dialogue, and he will give his input into what is needed, but ultimately how it works is the director of football deals with all the transfers, and the manager has no say whatsoever on what players are coming in. He gets given the options to pick from. He doesn't have a say. Now, we all know that Erik Ten Hag, in his current contract, has a big say on players coming into the football club. I talked about the interview that Erik Ten Hag did when he signed for Manchester United. He made it very clear that the only way he was coming into Manchester United was if he had control over transfers. Now, this is all going to change, obviously, and it's going to be interesting to see if Ineos actually do implement that strategy again at United, and Ten Hag has to fall in line, because if he doesn't, then, like I said last night on the show, that's another issue that he's got. There's two things that Ten Hag needs to take care of, and there's two sides to if he's still going to be a United manager at the end of the season. The performance from now to the end what he might win, FA Cup possibly, where he finishes in the league, and then if he falls in line with Ineos and this plan that Sir David Brailsford is going to put in place. Jim Ratcliffe has said, so excuse me, it's a nice bitter wind running through here right now. They've all said the same thing. So Jim Ratcliffe is a master at fizzling out bullshit. He cannot and will not stand for it. So I feel like Ten Hag, I'm not saying he's a bullshit or anything like that. He is going to be found out very quickly though if he is trying to, let's say for instance, try and put his case across of how important he is when it comes to transfers. So Jim Ratcliffe's going to look back at the disasters that have been at Manchester United. For these people coming in to the club, you're talking Dan Ashworth there. He's already had one fallout in negotiations with United before. This cannot happen again. There's no future for John Myrtle at Manchester United. So no matter what relationship Ten Hag has got with any staff members, he has to put that aside and look after number one. And the only way he can look after himself and still be Manchester United manager is to actually get in bed with Ineos and fall into line with their plans. Otherwise, he's doomed. He's absolutely doomed. So it's up on him. It really is. And football results help everything at United. We've said it before. It's all about what happens here on the pitch. If that is all working well, then decisions are a lot easier off the pitch. And Manchester United going forward, the only way we survive is if we're actually providing the goods out there when they cross over that white line. And there is a chance here for United to change everything. There's a chance for us to draw a line under the crap and move forward. And that's what we need to do. I was going to get into some of your chats. Prem and FA Cup winners 2024, says Nikos. I like the confidence. I do. I want more confidence. I want more of it. Sound gone. Say that again. Sound's gone. No, it shouldn't have gone. Everyone should be okay. Make sure you do give the video a like, guys, as well, and do subscribe if you are watching for the first time. We are adapting our live shows. We're on the road. We're just going to make it better and better. And it is bitterly cold, so do bear with us today. I'm just going to check the poll to see where the poll is at. 75% says we're winning now. Oh, well, at least the confidence is there. What can you say, though? To be honest, I don't blame you. I know I'm trying to spin a big positive on it. I know I'm trying to make it sound better than probably what it is, but it's my job as a fan and the face of this channel to not just bring the news and try and spin a negative on it. I know negative news makes big headlines and stuff like that, but I want this team to succeed. I want Manchester United to be winning trophies under Ten Hag and Ten Hag survive under Ineos. I want all of that to happen. All I will do, though, is say it as it is, and that's where I'm at. When I've got my opinion on Erik, when I've got my opinion on certain players, it is just from what I've watched. I know what I've seen before, I know what I'm watching right now, and that's what I'll judge off, and that's how I'll come to my opinions and assumptions and how I feel like this team is best moving forward. And obviously, your guys' help along the line is everything. Let me just see what else we've got. I believe that Ten Hag is going to walk away from this club and the travesty of the owners and not being listened to buying him his number one priority players, not who is the cheapest. He wanted Anthony. He wanted Mount. I can't defend Ten Hag completely on his signings. I can't defend him when it comes to players like Mount and Anthony when there were other options there. He has made some good signings, though. I'm not going to just hide behind the bad ones just for a headline. I mean, Eriksson was an astute signing. Good. Martinez, one of the best centre-backs we've seen in a few years at United. Hopefully him coming back, he's going to give us something extra again. Even Johnny Evans, I mean, even though it was desperate, he's been one of our better players this year. I think Johnny Evans isn't good enough for Manchester United. He's playing above himself right now, but still, he made that call, and if he didn't make that call with Johnny Evans, then we'd have been struggling right now. We really would have been on our asses in terms of defences. And we've already seen Camberwell come through. Mainu's come through. We have seen a core of youth players arrive in United's first team under Ten Hag as well. So let's not forget about that and try and look at it in a positive it could be completely the opposite way tonight when I'm rounding this game up in the reaction show and in that watch along. And I hope it's not. I hope Manchester United, like I've said, will win this game. We move forward from here and we look ahead to Spurs next weekend, trying to get the Premier League back on track. But right now, let's take care of business. The most important game is the next one, which is Wigan tonight, and United are going to get the win. They're going to win 3-0. Rashford will score, Højlund will score, and Bruno Fernandes will score. I feel like that's what it is. Get your predictions in, guys. We are going to move on from there because it is absolutely brassico. It really is. And there the gates open there. Oh, I should have just snuck in a little bit, shouldn't I? But yeah, looking in there. Yeah, all preparation going on for the game. All the TV vans and everything just moving in around us now. It does feel like it's on full match day mode right now. And do you know what? No one else is here. No other channel is here. I mean, tell you what, let's have a little walk over, guys, shall we? And just see. Let's get a little sneak peek live. Since how many people do this, hey? You know what? Take advantage of what you've got. Hopefully you can all see me. Judge Kaz's camera skills as well, guys, as well. Let's see if we can get a little sneak peek of the pitch live on YouTube, eh? Let me know that the sound's all right as well, guys, and everything like that. See, I've got dead long legs, so I'm having to walk very slow right now. So Kaz only got little legs, you see. But let's just have a little walk over and see what we can get. You know me, I always take risks. Oh, watch what you're doing now. Steady on. You can see that stand at the back there, guys. That one right over the other side. That'll be full of Manchester United fans tonight. That is the... And there was a big kick-off with the Wigan fans. I spoke to someone who actually lives around here, and they were saying that season ticket holders have been moved from them seats over on the other side there, and that's simply because their average has been down this season. I think they've been getting on average 4,000 or 5,000, so they've moved everyone around. So it is going to be like a United home game tonight. I'm just going to see if I can sneak in a little bit closer, actually. You take your chances when these moments come around, don't you? But yeah, you can just see there is the pitch, everything looking perfectly set up, ready for a epic Manchester United win against Wigan tonight. So yeah, I think last time we played here, I mean, I've got some good memories here actually. Remember when we won the title here, Manchester United? Remember Giggs's goal at that opposite end over there? Manchester United have got a great record against Wigan. Obviously Wigan themselves have got a big rapport with the FA Cup. Remember 2013, the final against Manchester City? It was... sorry, let me just check out. I'm going to get into some of your comments while I'm here as well. Take a walk on the pitch, Adam says, don't... No, I can't do that. I'm not that bad. But, yeah, I'll tell you what, actually. I'll leave the camera there. I'm just going to have a little nose there. Sod it. Let's just see. And you can still hear me, by the way. But yeah, sprinklers are on. Everything looks good. DW Stadium looking sharp. A few faded seats. Yeah. I'm confident. Oh, actually, just in the top corner over the other side there. I'll come back before I get in trouble. Hello, everyone. Walking back now. But you can just see well, I think it's BBC who have got the coverage for the game. Their little gantry box has just been set up in the far corner over there. So yeah, it's all set up. It's going to be a cold one, like I said, but no excuse for United. Perfectly good looking match surface there, and confident the Reds can get the win. I am. I'm buzzing now actually. I've seen the pitch and all the build up and all the TV cameras and everything coming around. I actually want to get to the game quite quickly. I'm gutted that it's so far away. It feels like we should be just getting prepared for the game right now. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. I am going to round up the video there because batteries are running low, and we need to we need to get back and get warm. It is freezing. It is going to be cold tonight as well. No time for soft soapers tonight. No time for the fairies tonight. You need men on that pitch there tonight, United. Otherwise, like I said, it's going to be a bad night for Ten Hag. and players need to be ready. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate all of yous on a Monday morning. I know everyone's in work and it's not as easy, but we're building up to the game. Join us for the watch along later in the reaction show and the player ratings. Loads of content coming your way. United going for the win. Let's get into that draw, which we will also cover later on as well. Like, share and subscribe as always, everyone. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later on today. Get your likes on it and get your comments in when the video goes up on YouTube as well, guys.